10 richest athletes that went completely broke. Some from reckless spending to bad investments to massive amounts of child support money, athletes can find many ways to blow their massive salaries. By the way, this is presented to you by 40inbox.com. So number 10, George Best. He will always have a reputation as being one of the greatest footballers of his day and also one of the greatest footballers to never play in a World Cup. But Manchester United Northern Ireland legend George Best was not as good with money as he was with a ball. Which, we could think of so many jokes about him being good with balls. So the late footballer battled alcoholism to such a degree that he needed a liver transplant. Not to mention, he admitted that he squandered a ton of money on cars and women, as well as alcohol, despite earning a reported $100 million in his life. The apple hasn't fallen far from the tree either, as the hard partying ways of his son, Callum, have led him to file for bankruptcy as well. Which, by the way, hit the like button if you wish you had $100 million ever in your life. Number 9, Terrell Owens. Known for being just as enigmatic as he was talented during his football career, Terrell Owens has also been known for going broke. During an interview he had with GQ in 2012, he admitted that he lost millions of dollars thanks to having to pay tons of money in child support. He has 4 kids with as many different women and investing his money poorly, and he also placed blame on his financial advisors. So despite his status as a potential Hall of Famer and with at least $80 million earned in his career, Owens have certainly seen as many financial trials and tribulations as NFL achievements. Number 8, Warren Sapp. He was known for being one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL during his playing days and even made it as a guest star on The Simpsons. But Warren Sapp is not known for keeping a hold on his millions of dollars. The former Super Bowl winner with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers reportedly owes $6.7 million to creditors, the Internal Revenue Service, and to child support, as well as tons more in unpaid property taxes and alimony. So the Hall of Famer also saw his 10,000 square foot home be sold in an auction in 2012, which, by the way, if you do not know this, a 10,000 square foot home means his house was a mansion. So he lost his mansion. Number 7, Scottie Pippen. Or Pippen. Maybe he's just piping all day long. I don't know. He may be nicknamed No Tippin' Pippen, but his lack of generosity to waitstaff at restaurants hasn't stopped this Chicago Bulls legend from losing tons of money anyway. Despite earning $120 million in his playing career, Scottie Pippen lost much of it, largely after he retired from basketball, thanks to the mismanagement of his funds, causing him to sue his former law firm over it. Thanks to poor choices of investments as well as buying a $4 million malfunctioning jet that needed an extra $1 million in repair costs, Pippen has seen his pocketbook shrink considerably despite otherwise being frugal with money, at least when he goes out. Number 6, Marion Jones. She may have been one of the United States star athletes at the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney, but Marion Jones' bankruptcy has proved that she is now far removed from her 5 medal performance at the Games, at least financially. Before seeing her $2.5 million mansion near Chapel Hill, North Carolina be foreclosed, Jones lost her endorsements and saw her medals get rescinded thanks to her admission of taking steroids before her races, which is crazy that she admitted to taking steroids. Now, on top of that, Jones also owed hundreds of thousands worth in legal fees, among other unpaid expenses, and the former track star, former WNBA player, ended up going broke. Number 5, Curt Schilling. He's been retired since 2008 and reportedly made $114 million throughout his career in baseball. But Curt Schilling's inability to hang on to his money has risked transcending his accomplishments as a player. I can't even speak. The former Red Sox pitcher saw his video game company, 38 Studios, go bankrupt in 2011, losing him $50 million in the process. Even more sadly for Schilling, who recently overcame a battle with cancer and is currently in remission as of June, he tried auctioning off his bloody sock from the 2004 World Series and got a disappointing $92,613 from it. Some were expecting the top bid to be close to $400,000. Number 4, Evander Holyfield. Career earnings of $250 million should keep your pocketbook set for years to come, right? Well, I mean, if you went down below to learn the secret to mastering your money, it definitely would. Well, apparently not for the former boxing great Evander Holyfield. Although he's just as well known for having had part of his ear bitten off by Mike Tyson as he is for his boxing accomplishments, Holyfield is known also for his poor handling of his money, from difficulties paying child support for his 11 children, which resulted in a lawsuit against him, to his foreclosed $10 million and 109-room mansion, to the fact that he still owed $14 million despite his home selling for $7.5 million in an auction. Number 3, Allen Iverson. Despite being one of a number of major athletes who have built up a reputation for not tipping very well, Allen Iverson still figured out how to blow a lot of his earnings. Thanks to his excessive spending on mansions, jewelry, fancy cars, and clothes, not to mention millions more on gambling alone, the former Sixers superstar has a reputation for mismanaging his funds that stands out all on its own, leaving him essentially broke as a retired NBA player. The fact that he had a lifetime endorsement contract from Reebok to the tune of $50 million adds salt to his wounds. Number 2, Michael Vick. As if it weren't bad enough that his football career has long been overshadowed by his involvement in a dogfighting ring, Michael Vick had to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy after his release from prison in 2008. To make matters worse, the current New York Jet had managed to lose $8 million worth of endorsement money per year, in addition to the termination of his $130 million contract with his first team, the Atlanta Falcons. Much of Vick's loss of money is attributed to him paying mortgages and other expenses for his family and friends, as well as racking up lost money from bad investments. And number 1, the king of all losses, Mike Tyson. From buying expensive exotic pets that he couldn't keep, to buying a $2 million bathtub for his ex-wife, to a lot more money worth of cocaine, divorce settlements, and expensive jewelry, Mike Tyson's financial management leaves plenty to be desired, especially since he earned a whopping $400 million as a boxer. If Tyson hadn't been spending 3 years in jail thanks to charges against him, maybe he would have made more money to hang on to. Or maybe he would have blown all that too. Who knows? Feel free to watch more. Check out 40inbox.com to master your money. Learn the secret to mastering your money below so you don't end up like any of these athletes. And you can also learn how to make money online below as well, where you could basically start a online business using just a phone and a computer. See you in future episodes. But Feel free to leave your thoughts as to, any of these athletes and what you would do with the money, because the thing is, mastering your money is so simple that is honestly depressing seeing all these athletes just blow all this money away.